company. Hi, folks. And also has a stand here, I think, over there, if I've got my sense of direction
trading
correctly.
here for about 5 years, I think, 5 or 6 years now.
I can smell it from here. Now, I mean, you can smell the garlic, but when it's been smoked, you can really smell the garlic.
You should smell the car. Yeah, really bad.
So let's just start. Elisha does quite a few products using the wood from New Zealand. First of all, let's start by talking about what it is that you do with the smoking and where the wood comes from.
We specialise in the smoked garlic. We actually use a New Zealand tea tree. I grew up with my dad in New Zealand smoking fish only with Manuka wood. It has an incredible sweet, smoky, nutty flavour when you use it. So we specialise in Manuka wood to do our smoked garlic. We started off the business 17 years ago in Christchurch, good old shaky old Christchurch, New Zealand. And then after the earthquakes, my partner and I decided to relocate. Family's still in New Zealand producing all of our smoked products, but my partner and I, Christian, started 7 years ago in Australia, and we started off doing 10 kilos in a little tiny smoker on our balcony, heaven forbid, in Rose Bay. No one knew. Now we have a $30,000 huge industrial smoker, and we're smoking 200 kilos a week for the local farmers markets, wholesale, Flemington, you name it, our smoked garlic is out there.
And can you just quickly talk us through that process of what are the steps in terms of you've got your raw garlic,
yep,
and what happens next?
You're basically putting it onto trays in the smoker at a raw, like this state here.
Yep.
We use Manuka wood, beech wood, and a handful of bay leaves, and we fill the wood chips at the bottom of the smoker. And it's smoked at under 40 degrees. Now what this does is it keeps it raw, natural, keeps that natural property of the garlic, but you're imparting this incredible nutty, smoky flavour into the garlic. So you've got two elements. You've got the rawness, the naturalness to the garlic, but you've got this incredible flavour. So it's a win-win.
And how long does that process take at 40 degrees?
14 to 15 hours.
Okay, so it's very long and slow
labour
and
intensive.
Yeah.
But you're doing...
And are you having to turn them at any stage, or
no,
just go on the trays?
The smoke circulates through the smoker, but it is a long process. So we're smoking about 100 kilos at a time.
Okay, and so you've got your smoked garlic, and then I know that you've said that people often say to you, but what do I do with my smoked garlic?
Every 2 seconds. What do you do with smoked garlic? Incredible flavour. So when you're using garlic and onions, why are you using them? You're using them to start off this incredible flavour base for a bolognese or a stir fry or a soup. So it's all about flavour.
So you're using it in the same way that you use regular fresh garlic,
no
but
difference.
It's got an extra.
Difference.
It's just got an extra flavour
it's
profile.
It's all about the flavour.
Yeah. And so how long? Like we talked about the longevity of the raw garlic.
Yes.
Has that changed with the smoking
process? Some people say that to me. That they say, because it's smoked, does it last longer? No, it's still raw. If it was hot smoked, yes, you'd have to eat it within a week. Being cold smoked, it's still raw, it's still natural, so it lasts just as long as normal raw garlic.
Yeah. And you've got two different types of garlic here. Can you just perhaps talk us through?
Once I've sort of talked, I'll hand this basket around and you can have a look at the product and have a smell. It's very tactile. We also import fermented garlic. Now, fermented garlic is an old traditional Asian technique. It's all back to the old-fashioned fermentation process. It's incredibly healthy, and it's like a sweet, gooey prune. And you use it just like a quince paste or a little truffle. It's very special. It's about keeping it starts off as a normal raw bulb like this, and it's kept in a machine that keeps it at a controlled temperature of under 42 degrees for up to 40 days. So it starts that natural fermentation process off.
Yeah, so for all of you that missed out on buying Pepe Sayers butter here today, you could actually make your own by buying this black fermented garlic and then mixing running it through with the butter, and it really is. I mean, your description of it being like a prune. I mean, I was thinking raisin, but it's got that whole dried fruit sweetness about it. And I don't know if any of you ever ate the brasserie bread, garlic bread, but it always made me feel like it was raisin bread. But it's that type of flavour. It's a completely different profile.
You could make a bread with it. Absolutely, you could do that.
So it's a beautiful sweet ingredient.
Actually, had a customer who came to me today who bought it a couple of weeks ago, and she had a dinner party at home, and she made a black garlic and chocolate cake, and she said it was incredible. She got the recipe online, so feel free to Google. She said it was absolutely beautiful, and I guess it's because it's so sweet. It's beautiful.
And obviously, you said during the garlic season, you're using as much local garlic
when
as
garlic's
you possibly
in season,
can.
We will always preferably use Australian garlic. We're running a business not just 6 months of the year, we're running a business 12 months of the year, so we have to use imported garlic. I would never touch Chinese garlic. There's too many nasty stories about how they process it, where it's grown. So the varieties that I particularly like are the purple Spanish varieties, Argentinian, and occasionally Mexican.
But only when you have to.
Only when you have to. And that is, unfortunately, for 6 months of the year, or 5 months. It blows my mind the amount of people that don't know garlic is only seasonal. All fruit and vegetables are seasonal, so you can only buy certain types of fruit and vegetables certain times of the year.
I think also just the fact that it's such a short season. As
it
Jill
is.
said, you're picking for 10 days.
Yes.
That you're picking what you need to sell for a few months of the year, and then spending the rest of the time. So for me, that also just reinforces. People often question the price of a product. It's like, well, when you multiply that by the down times and the preparation times. You can really understand that the commodity to be sustainable, it needs to be valued into it.
As a lot of people say to me, garlic growers say, well, it takes a good 8 months to grow really good quality garlic, and it takes about 6 weeks to grow great lettuces. So there's that's why there's not so many garlic growers around. It's a really long process. Yeah. And
do you have a favourite use for your smoked garlic? That's something that you've come to after obviously being very familiar with it.
I'm a hummus girl.
Oh,
I could make a bowl of smoked garlic hummus and unfortunately eat the whole bowl in about half an hour. It's incredible. It just makes the hummus take it to another level, smoky and nutty flavour. Beautiful.
Yeah. And the fermented garlic?
Garlic butter. Or a lot of restaurants now are doing a gourmet scrambled eggs with black garlic.
Yep.
So finely slicing the little cloves because they're quite sticky and sweet. And tossing them through scrambled eggs, and
they definitely lend themselves to pounding more than chopping the fermented garlic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And what's this little bag just before we finish?
This is all about living in Sydney and fast, easy cooking when you're coming home at 7:30 at night from working all day. This is about easy, convenient style cooking. So what we've done is we've smoked the garlic and put it through a processor to slice it. And you've got also dehydrated, so it's dried, smoked, cooked garlic, and it's all about convenience.
Similar in a way to what I was describing with the fried garlic in oil, but obviously it hasn't touched oil. And
as soon as you put it into water in a soup or a sauce or with oil, it's going to soften, but it's great crunched up and sprinkled over a lovely Asian noodle dish or a homemade pizza. So it's all about convenience. It's a lazy version of your smoked garlic bulbs. But it's all about time. And
presumably this keeps quite well.
It does. Keeps for a very long period of time.
Fantastic. Okay, well we're going to pass around this basket now, and there's also a bunch of
recipes. A couple of recipes here, so please take them. There's business cards here. Have a smell, touch it, smell it. It's very tactile, so pass it on. Yeah. Beautiful, guys. So thank you so much for listening. My stall is just down near the roadway there. If you want to come down and purchase anything, I can talk to you and answer any questions, I guess.
Any more questions? And now we're going to set Victoria up in this very sunny position. Yeah.
Maybe can we move?
Closer to the chairs. Yeah.